is that when you're performing wudu during the day as you're fasting, then you may rinse your mouth and your nose, but be careful not to exaggerate in rinsing the nose. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يبالغ في الاستنشاق. He used to go to excessive lengths when rinsing his nose. So he used to inhale water all the way until it reaches the end part of the moisture of the nose. ما لم يكن صائما, so long as he wasn't fasting. If he was fasting, he would just wet the opening of the nostril and that's it. So don't go excessive, because that may ruin and invalidate your fasting if the water ended up reaching all the way to the top and goes down your throat and into your stomach. That would invalidate the fasting. And what we learn from this here is that sometimes it is actually recommended to leave out a sunnah in order to preserve the obligation. So in this case, it's always a sunnah to exaggerate when cleaning your nose in al-wudu. It's always a sunnah. But this sunnah should be avoided in order to save what? In order to save the obligatory act, and that is fasting. When you're rinsing your mouth, your nose during the day, then you just put some water in there and move on. You don't have to take the water, inhale it all the way in to your nostrils. And while I'm mentioning this point, I want to mention something very important. You see that principle I gave you now? That principle? I said, leave the recommended matter, leave the sunnah in order to preserve what? In order to preserve the obligation. What do we find and experience and see in the people during Ramadan? They will spend the nights awake, maybe even in night prayers, and then they'll sleep before Salat al-Fajr, and they will miss Salat al-Fajr altogether. وَلَا حَوْلَ وَلَا قُوَّةَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. If you think that spending many hours of the night is going to affect the way you get up for Salat al-Fajr, or you're going to miss it, then brothers and sisters in Islam, please forget this whole sunnah at night. Go to sleep early and make sure you get up for Salat al-Fajr. I don't know, everyone knows himself, but I'm trying to complete a point on this matter here. If your worship at night in prolonged hours is going to affect your ability getting up for Salat al-Fajr and praying it during its time, then scrap this whole night and go and sleep early and make sure you get up and you pray al-Fajr, which is an obligation.